Thank you very much, our viewer. You are most welcome to Blind TV. My name is Charlton. Today we are at the district headquarters for Pade District. And Pade District, today they had a very wonderful budget.
The structure of my presentation includes introduction, starting position, budget structure, budget performance, achievement, challenges, outlook of the future, that is strategy, and sector priorities. Of course, as a finance department, this is a service department, we complement the departments that do implement the activities in the district. And with our functions as highlighted in the presentation, of course, we are aware that the funding within the district is always as indicated by Kao earlier on. We are having a bit of challenge whereby in quarter one, what we are expected to receive was supposed to be 25% of our budget. But what we received was only 12.5% of the budget. Though in quarter two, what we have received is 25%. So basically, this is the trend which we are moving on. That's why by now our budget should have constituted to 50%. Then we move to performance of grants by functions. Our total grants, as this is categorized, that is against the budget. On non-wage recurrent, what we received was 4.82 billion. On wages is 11.141. Then on development grants is 1,092 million, giving a total receipts of 17,058,800,000. And it gives a total percentage receipts as indicated there. On the performance, this is by funding source. So we are looking at on donor. Donor loan, we are expecting to receive around 1.3 billion.
The district chair has now been responsible. According to this presentation, there's nowhere seen where there is provision for purchase for his vehicle. Is it possible to make a budget for that? That's one. Two, in the report that talks of transparency and accountability, Kao was saying there's no corruption, but Kao, I don't agree with you. To be very honest, if you look at the projects being accomplished, value for money is not seen. So I want to urge the members that whatever project we're taking about there should be value for money. Three, I want to request that the head teachers, school management committees, be trained on how to handle books of account. We normally blame them that the accountabilities for you people and other funds are not being handled well. Maybe some of them do not have critical knowledge of how to handle books of account. So my request is that in this next financial year, I need to put some budget so that they are trained. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson, the District Chairperson, and the Executive Committee, honorable colleagues, the Resident District Commissioner, Kao, and the staff. Madam Chairperson, I want to appreciate the presentation by the person in charge of Finance Department. One, I also want to say that we should not say there is no corruption in Pade. Even if still we are saying there is eating from the jaws, then what do we call that one? Because if people are still making money and they eat it from the source, and we are saying from here there is no corruption, and we are accepting that that one is being is happening in the district. Secondly, I want to bring this to the presenter of finance department. Some of these things are things that we talk about several times in the district, even in the council. We are talking of the low revenue base, the low revenue collection. How fully are we utilizing the revenue source that we have in the district? Madam Secretary of Finance, who is also the chairperson, said, the other time we talk about the utilization of a reform that we have here, which is the choice of revenue. Actually, it is the best source of revenue collection in the district. We talk about fencing of the Daru fall area, where most of the tourists always visit. And it is also not talking about here. I want to say that if we want to improve on the service delivery through revenue collection, that will enable us to do mass. That kind of places must be protected, and we should be tapping revenue from there.
When carrying out audit, we do a technical aspect of what we call professional skepticism, where you can't assign a person who interacts and exchange ideas and perhaps have a hand to go and audit. It needs a third party. That is why your senior counsel system will not be allowed to audit, but we only give them, at this particular moment where we are handicapped by human resource, we give them an aspect of only clearance over accountability, because we know there they will only be helping, guiding them. But issues of going to audit completely, we don't, because we know at one point they shall have been together in execution of those. So we have what we call professional skepticism. I beg to stop. Thank you.
Conference with me, I have Secretary for Finance, who was also sharing the budget conference. We want to know from her what has been transferring during the course of the meeting, and then what is our take on the budget conference. Madam, you're most welcome.
Thank you so much, presenter. My name is Nancy Laweno, Secretary for Finance, Planning and Administration. I'm very grateful for today's function. Today, the 1st November, we are having our budget conference, and this is in line with the Public Finance Management Act, Section 13, Clause 2, as amended 2015. It is a requirement that we have a consultative approach to the budget. And with great pleasure, I want to report to you that this year, Pade is very grateful. I used to compare what took place last year and this year. What transpired last year was that very many sub-counties did not submit in their priority before we had our district budget conference. But as I talk now, for the district, we had all the priorities submitted by all the sub-counties. And what amused me most was last year, sub-county like Paiula, sub-county like Chulibu, when we were presenting last year, they had not yet submitted in their priorities. But this year, Paiula was number 1. I'm very grateful that all the priorities have been submitted, and our council are deliberating, and we have given room, because the law said by the 12th of November is when the budget framework paper is required in the ministry. We have given room in case you have forgotten of any priority in your sub-county, any stakeholders that are here today, you are able to bring in your priority to the department, to the planner. It will still be captured. This has been moving from grassroots. We had this consultative meeting. The priority have been collected from villages to parishes to sub-county, and now finally the district. I'm very grateful. We are going on well. I hope this time we shall have fun. The only challenges we have now this year is that most of our priorities are okay, but when it comes to funding, the finance is very limited. Like if I'm to compare this first quarter, we received 12.5% of what we expected, because we expected 25% of the release, but we did not receive all. That is a challenge we have. We hope for the best, but otherwise the budget conference is all going on well. Everybody is deliberating actively, giving in their input, which is so good. I'm grateful.
And looking at the different priority from different sub-county, what has been tough on the agenda?
People are bringing in different views. So far, we had the Department of Finance who have presented audit and planner and administration. Actually, we are still remaining with the human capital, that is education, health, and so on. However, in the discussion, the key issues they were bringing is the issue of revenue. You know, the issue of revenue collection. They were saying they are spending at source. There was also issue of road, bad road network. There were issue of also other pending work not done, but Carl was able to explain, like the issue of Ogomsit came, the issue of Latanya, and all these were projects that are given by ministry. And the contract is awarded by ministry. Our role is to monitor. And Carl explained to them that by the time the financial year clocked, the contract had not yet been awarded, and therefore he had nothing to do, but this money will be brought back.
Thank you so much. I'm called Dr. Charles, the chairperson of LC3 Lunyiri Sub-County. According to priority of Lunyiri Sub-County, we submitted our priority before the deadline. And for today budget conference, some of our priority is captured in district priority. We are very happy. Mostly Department of Education, health and administration.
Looking at your sub-county, what is the top things?
The top thing in the priority for the Lunyiri sub-county is the issue of health. Upgrading according to the policy of the government, upgrading the health center 2 of Lagile to health center 3. And administration, our priority is construction of a sub-county headquarters. We are still staying in a store. And education is our priority is classroom construction at Rajkoro, which is covered in the district priority.
Maybe looking at different things you have been mentioning here. Why have you decided health should be your top things?
Why? Because without health, you cannot work, you cannot plan, you cannot feed your children. So health is the priority. When our community are healthy, then other activity can be done effectively.
Okay, thank you very much, our viewer. And we are at Pade District Local Government, where there is budget conference ongoing, and I have a technical person with me. Sir, you're most welcome.
Thank you. I'm Okello Bosco Paul. I'm the district planner of Pade. Today, the 1st November 2022, we are having our district budget conference. You know that budget conference entails collection of priorities from different lower local governments, and the sum total is always brought at the district headquarters, and we take priorities. So mostly during this budget conference, we shall see what to be implemented, what priorities should we take in the next coming financial year. So this is basically about the budget conference. The top on the agenda is around 4 things. One, it is on the infrastructure development, then climate change, then human capital development. Human capital development comprises of health and education, then community-based services. Because now if we improve on our human social capitals, we are able to make other programs also to work. You know, nowadays we are working on program, not sector-based. So we have so many programs, but this coming financial year we are focusing on these 4, but taking into consideration that other sectors also will be there. But the top 4 are the issue of the climate change, the issue of the human capital development, the issue of the infrastructure development, then development plan implementations.
I want maybe to understand from you if all sub-counties have already submitted their priority.
Yes, we have written to all the sub-counties. They have submitted all their priorities, and it is always consolidated in the planning unit. And we told them also to share the copies of these priorities to the line departments. So all the line departments, they have the priorities where all their priorities. Say, for example, if it is health, all the issues, priorities under health will go to the DHO, and the DHO will consolidate everything. If it is on education, the same thing. If it is in under production, it is the same thing. So we have consolidated all the priorities which were brought from the lower local government.
Required by law, the district is supposed to have the budget conference and then align priorities for the for the coming financial year. In the current financial year, in the coming financial year, the budget will focus on full monetization of Uganda's economy through commercial agriculture, industrialization, expanding and broadening services, digital transformation, and market access. And all this will be focusing on climate change and management of food security, implementation of Paris development model, consolidating infrastructure development to reduce the cost of doing business, human capital development, and private sector development. When you look at the 5 key areas, all these key areas will handle issues in education, in health, in community, in other departments. Now, in our own opinion, we have received priorities of all the sub-counties, and these priorities focus on all the other development areas. I'm happy that all the sub-counties and town councils of Pade have submitted their priorities, and all have been included in the budget framework paper. And as we go through the process of planning, we are sure that we will capture all these priorities for the budget approval next year, which will be in May. It is our humble appeal that as a district, if we come up with a budget, I know it is not a responsibility of one person. It is not even the responsibility of government alone. The money we have as local government, which we receive from donors, others we mobilize locally, and others come from the center, are not enough to implement the key development areas that I've talked about. So it will require all of us to join hands to make sure that the budget framework paper which we have developed, and we have aligned priorities for onward submission and for onward approval in May next year, it is upon all of us to ensure it is actually implemented. Apart from this one, what I want to say, one key issue which is affecting us more, because the council operate on local revenue. You have actually witnessed in the presentation of finance the amount of money that we are realizing locally, and yet by law we are supposed to spend 20% of the locally raised revenue. Now, if we have 300 million shillings per year, and then calculate 20% of that amount, it should be the amount of money that should facilitate the operation of the council. And council is big, so that money is not enough. At this point, I want to appeal, as I conclude, to government that there is need for Parliament to review the Local Government Act, so that this idea of 20% of the money we collect by ourselves should be revisited. We should be allowed to use our local revenue based on the works we have, and then the problems and priorities we have as a district. Why should Kampala tie down our local revenue on 20%? And this has affected us. It has created a lot of problems. It has created even conflict, because we cannot manage to pay council. Neither are we able to facilitate executive or even the entire council to operate and do their duty as required.
You have been talking about the local revenue. There has been issues today that when you collected revenue, always they spend at source. What do you have to say about this?
It is unfortunate that in some areas, when our local revenue collectors do collect money, they spend the money at source. This is an illegality. It is not acceptable by the standards of our government. Then I want to appeal to all the people who are concerned that mobilizing local revenue and consuming it or spending it at source is illegal, and once you are caught, you will be handled in accordance with the law. But as of now, I want to encourage members that it is upon us to do what is right. It is of course not right, but we need to do what is right. We will strengthen mechanisms on how best we can mobilize money and spending at source should be reduced. We will strengthen support, supervision and monitoring. We will even strengthen accountability and transparency to ensure this vice is fought and the money mobilized is sent first to the account and then spent as per the budget and as per the law.
And lastly, looking at different priority from different sub-county, you have been they are presented it today. Do you think those priorities they have impact on the local community?
They do, because the priorities, according to our planning cycle, the plan comes from the village. It is bottom up. So we first begin generating the priorities from the village, coming to parish, consolidating it to sub-county or town council priorities, and then at the district level we consolidate it to make district priorities. Therefore, if it is chosen by the people, we therefore want to believe they have chosen what is good for them and what will impact on them. The only challenge which you have asked is sometimes we align our priorities, but the revenue, the money to allow us implement those priorities into actions becomes a problem. And that's why people sometimes, we have talked about these priorities, we have mentioned this, we have done this, but it is not being implemented. Yet the issue is money. So we are confident once we implement them rightly and we do the right thing, the amount of money put on a certain project selected by the community is rightly used, there is value for money, it definitely has impact on the local population. But that is when we do the right thing. My last word is that I want to call upon all the stakeholders that a budget is a big document. It is not for an individual. I want to call upon the council, members of council, all the technical people. I want to call upon development partners and our community members that let's come together and as we develop the budget for the coming financial year, we should be speaking one language. We should be critiquing the right way. We should be doing things that will make us move. At the moment, there is only need for unity. I am supposed to be my brother's helper and supporter. You also be your brother's helper.
Okay, thank you very much, our viewer. Today we have been in Pade at the district headquarters, as you can see, and we had a budget conference. It has been a wonderful one. A lot of things has been raised. The priority right from the village, parish, sub-county till to the district, and there has been interacting, and the different sub-county they are presented their priority, and we are still waiting to see what is going to take place. That is what has been taking place here, and we heard a lot from the cow, from the district planner. We heard from the vice chairperson, which has been represented by the vice chairperson, and then from different LCC chairperson. My name is Charlton, and Brightline TV at the district headquarters.